Good morning, traders. Welcome to this video on the euro dollar and pound dollar. My name is Chris from Elite Currency. Before we take a look at markets, wanted to let you know that Ultimate EA still available to mid-February. So if you want to join at no upfront cost and with a fair profit sharing model and a low minimum deposit, only $100 is the minimum, then take a look at this. Still open for another 2.5 weeks or so, and you can join. After that, we will close the doors for this particular offer. So check it out. Here you have all the backtesting performance, the live performance as well, plus 126% in the first 6.5 months of trading. And you can see how to join right here. All right, so hope to see you soon. Euro dollar 4-hour chart is inching along lower, but very slow and correctively. Yeah, it is bouncing at the 110 here as well. So I wonder if this could be the start of a potential ABC correction. That's difficult to say. Price action is certainly still in a definitely downtrend. So I'm not sure if we're going to get a bigger pullback necessarily, but 110 would be certainly a level that you would think could provide that support. It's around psychological level. So typically we would see kind of a pullback there. I think that if we look at the wave structure here, that it could easily be the start of a wave 4 here, of a maybe a 1-2 like this. And this is all part of wave 3. And then we can get a wave 4 and then down for wave 5. But let's see, of course, if that wave 4 will indeed take place. I really don't know at this moment if that will indeed happen. Let's take a look at the hourly chart. We did get a break for the first time above the 21 EMA. But the price action is going very quickly to the downside. So that's not a good sign of that particular view. We did get a break above this trend line, and the channel. But at this pace, I wonder. Let's take a look at the lower time frames, like 50-minute chart. All right, there we go. 50-minute chart is making a clear continuation lower. It could also be an ABC zigzag. Up looks like a 5-wave pattern. So let's see. It's the last chance for price to bounce. If I put a fib from here to here on the 50-minute chart, this is the 88.6 fib. So if price does make a close in reverse like that, then I think there's a good chance of a bigger ABC correction, this being A, B, C. But if price goes sideways and it makes a bear flag like that and it starts to break that flag, then I'm on the lookout, of course, for more downside, basically. Okay, and then in that case, we could see an extension of the momentum. Let's go back to the 4-hour chart. All right, there we go. And maybe even daily. So we're getting, yesterday was a pin bar. So that could be another reason why I think a bullish bounce might occur. We do have a wick at the bottom. We have a bullish candle close. And we had a significant run to the downside. So that's not a bad daily candle reaction. It's not everything, but it could indicate that yesterday's low might be a bouncing spot. So that's something to keep an eye on. Another reason why it could bounce. Ultimately, as I mentioned before, though, this could be a bearish wave C in a bigger ABC correction. So as it gets closer to these support zones, there could be eventually a bullish bounce. Now, I personally think because of the strong momentum that price will make a flag and then continue lower for one more lower low, and then there might be a bounce. I think now personally is too soon, but there could be some bounce like a wave 4. So let's go back to the 4-hour chart, and I'll put a fib for the moment. Let's see, let's scroll out a little bit. Hang on. Let's put it from here to here. All right, and 110.50 could be a good level. 110.75. If it's a smaller wave 4, like this for instance, then 110.40, 110.65. In any case, it's all around that 110.40, 110.80 level, okay? So that could be a good resistance spot if price does make that pullback. So, and that's of course still an if. Otherwise, if price does break below yesterday's low, then as I said, on the hourly chart, I would expect some continuation from that point of view, but I must say that I don't think there's a lot of space to the downside because of 109.80, 109.75, 109.50. So if it does break, I would not be looking to short it, to be honest, with all that support zone in the way. It might inch lower still, but I think it will build a falling wedge and ultimately make a pullback later on. So I'm not really, at this moment, I'm really not interested in shorting it, to be very honest. I was certainly after this break. Certainly in this zone right here, even in these areas here, as long as I had space to 110, but I think 110 is too important. So I think more focused on a pullback and trying to short up in here for downside, and then looking for, again, a bounce at 109.50 for upside. That's my view, at least. Let's see, pound dollar. Yeah, that's an interesting one, because so far the triangle is kind of doing exactly what we should expect, right? With the A, B, a C, and a D, and then now maybe an E. So that's interesting. And within the C and the D, we had also some zigzag patterns like this that behaved as expected as well. So wave patterns were very useful in that. And now maybe an ABC completed. That's the big question. If this is a bullish triangle, then yes, maybe this is the end of the triangle with the wave E here with an A, B, C, and E bouncing off the 88.6 fib for the I think the third time here. I think this was the first one, second, yeah, third time. Wow, nail biter here on the pound, but pretty good bullish bounce. So far I think that, let's take a look at the hourly chart, but not bad. Good momentum, maybe ABC, head and shoulders maybe, perhaps. In any case, if it breaks above the 20 EMA and it breaks above this resistance trend line, which is maybe did a little bit already. In fact, let me draw that better with a proper trend line. Yes. So if it breaks above the 20 EMA, that could be the indication of a 1, 2, 3 pattern, or an ABC up, or some kind of bullish momentum to the upside. And this bearish ABC swing is then finished. Now, whether this is a bullish triangle or a bearish triangle, that will say a lot about the direction, because it might move up, but if it then bounces here again, it could be a bearish triangle too, with an A, B, C, D, E, and then break down. And this being an A here, this being the B, A, B, C, D, E within B. Let me draw that with orange, A, B, C, D, E, like that, and then downside break. So I think an upside is likely, but how much? That will decide, of course, whether, it depends on whether this triangle is ultimately bullish or bearish. It could break in both directions. I'm leaning towards upside, because the moving averages are aligned to the upside, but it could break to both directions. If it does move up, the main target for the moment is the 78.6 fib at 130.130. And of course, if it breaks above this top and then this top, then the triangle is breaking to the downside. Whereas if it breaks below 129.75, 129.50, and then 129.25, the triangle is breaking obviously to the downside. Downside targets 128.50, 127.50. Upside targets for the moment 130.130, then 132.50. Then probably let's put a fib from here to here. Then 133.80, 134.40, 50, sorry, and then 135. And then, of course, perhaps even higher if it does break this top and goes for a higher high. So, but the main point is, for the moment, I think personally that a push up here likely for price to hit the 61.8 fib, for instance, or the 50, then make a flag and then continue up to the 78. If it breaks below this bottom, of course, then the bullish scenario is out of the window. I'm looking for bear flags and continuations lower. All right, so that's my view on euro dollar, pound dollar. Maybe a bit more complicated than usual, but that's just how I see it at this moment. Wish you in any case great trading. Don't forget about Ultima EA, still available for the next 2.5 weeks, and a special 10% deposit bonus in January, by the way. So that might be worth checking out. And see y'all soon. Cheers. Bye-bye.